Hi, and welcome to momsden. My name is Ivona, and today we're doing some serious prep for Shadowlands. I'm gonna be going over some add-ons I think you absolutely need to have in the upcoming expansion, as well as some of the ultimately fun ones I can hardly imagine my gameplay without, and you may feel the same way about them. Before we dive deeper into this, you may want to toy with the idea of clicking that subscribe button. I upload fresh World of Warcraft content almost every day, and most of it are cool tips and tricks that'll make your gameplay both easy and a lot of fun, so hopefully I'll be seeing you around. Now, when it comes to the add-ons, I want to mention that the Twitch app you may be using for your add-on management is getting removed. So, if you're still using it, you may want to switch to the Overworld one, which will continue to take care of your existing add-ons. On December 2nd, the mods tab in a Twitch client will actually no longer be supported, and your add-ons will no longer be updated for the current content. If you don't feel like going for a new add-on manager and you don't like any of the other available ones, you can always install your add-ons manually, but in that case, it is up to you to keep them updated with every patch. So if you're like me and you tend to use a whole lot of them, I highly suggest you use an app for it, so you can spend more time playing and less time managing the software. When it comes to the add-ons I recommend for this video, I decided not to follow the general rule of the absolute musts being mentioned first, mostly because plenty of players already know which UI managers and damage meters work best for them. Instead, I'll start with some lightweight ones that really help me improve my own gameplay in various ways, gradually moving towards the ones that can completely transform it. That means that if you're new to World of Warcraft or the add-on business in general, you're likely going to benefit from this entire video and not just the first half. And don't worry, I'll link all those add-ons for you in the video description so you can easily take a look and download the ones you want. If you're able to, don't forget to support the awesome add-on creators. They do their work out of love and it's not easy to design all of those, so make sure to keep them going. Number 1 is storyline. For those of you who care even the slightest bit about reading through the quests and soaking in the lore, this add-on has the potential to change your experience quite a bit. I love it because it enables you to move the quest pop-up around, resize it, and go through the quest text simply by pressing space. Also, it's not swarmed with a lot of text and enables you to follow the story better than the original quest appearance, and it also has quite a cute conversational graphics that really helps you imagine your character interacting with the environment. If you really enjoy learning the lore while questing around, and you don't really care about high-speed leveling, I highly recommend this one. Number 2 is Postal. If you hang out next to the mailboxes around, you really need to have some sort of mailbox manager, and I think that Postal does an absolutely terrific job at it. With the ability to open a bunch of mail at the same time, go through your inbox in an easy way and send mail in no time, you'll have a lot more fun doing things like the auction house or sending out loot around in general. Number 3 is Narcissus. This is one of the most recent additions to my add-ons, and although I'm very far from being able to do a full guide on it, I've been loving it so far. Basically, it's an add-on that allows you to take stunning screenshots of your characters alone or with virtually any NPC you find in a database. There are things like color enhancements, controlling the shadows and the sun, changing the background, positioning your character, and the ones who you choose for the group photo as if they were casting or emoting. You can resize the models, switch them around, and overall do anything you want to create the perfect picture. Apart from all the screenshot stuff, there's also a terrific option for you to enter the character customization that looks a lot better than the one in the initial game, with a much better overview of your items, stats, and much more. The add-on gets updated with new options all the time, so if this sounds like something for you, make sure to check it out. Number 4 is All the Things. I'm gonna be honest, if there's even a tinge of completionist urge in your soul, I recommend this add-on as much as I'm urging you to stay away from it. Once you set it up, it's almost impossible to stop yourself from checking the list of things you can pick up in each and every single zone and instance you visit. But if you're into this kind of thing, and you don't mind spending hours on completing the stuff you never even knew existed, while getting cool mounts, pets, and transmogs along the way, I wish you the very best of luck. Number 5 is Leatrix Plus. This add-on offers insane amounts of quality of life settings, but what I'd like to point out as the most important one is the ability for your quests to be automatically turned in and picked up. Personally, I'm not always a fan of this, but for the purposes of speed leveling, it's very handy to not have to go through picking up the quests and completing them manually all the time. I find myself juggling between Leatrix Plus and storyline a lot, depending on what I'm doing at the moment and how quickly I'm trying to go through the zone. But if you're into this, as well as plenty of other enhancement tools, it's a perfect addition to your add-ons that you'll love. Number 6 is the Mount Farm Helper. If you're into mount collecting, this add-on can make your life a whole lot easier. It essentially provides you with a drop-down list of all the mounts you can farm this week, categorized by expansions, dungeons, raids, whatever you like. It also tells you which NPC drops the mount, so it's very convenient if you don't want to do the entire instance at once and you're not sure where the mount actually drops. Number 7 is the Talent Set Manager. I'll be honest, I should have discovered this bad boy a long time ago, but due to coming back to raiding only recently, I'm only now beginning to realize how useful this add-on is in the raiding and dungeon environment. It essentially allows you to save your talent presets for different situations, so you don't have to do it manually or even worse, look them up every time you're doing stuff with your friends. If you're one of the people who's going to benefit from this kind of thing, make sure you've also stocked up on the Tomes of the Changing Mind, which will allow you to swap between your talent presets whenever you like and not just in the resting area. Number 8 is TomTom. Now, I consider this one to be mentioned later once I start talking about the well-known add-ons you most likely want to have, but I'm starting to become aware of a surprisingly large number of people who are just not taking advantage of knowing their coordinates. Whenever there's something you want to find on your map, whether it be someone's location or some sort of quest or input you found on Wowhead, you want to make sure you can find your way around quickly and easily. This handy add-on allows you to put yourself on autopilot when it comes to flying around your quest area, and if you get in trouble and can't find the cave that's clearly circled in blue in your minimap, maybe it's time to use the coordinates and stop wasting your time wandering around. Number 9 is the World Quest Group Finder. This one is really great for whenever you can't down a big open world boss yourself, and it's usually about 4 AM and no one's around on your server to help you out, or when you simply couldn't be bothered to kill 48 minions and loot 50 blood-stained notes yourself. Now, if you're a new player, don't worry, I'm exaggerating like I sometimes do when it comes to world quests and their design, but essentially, pairing up in a group and doing that stuff with someone makes everything a whole lot easier, so I highly recommend it. Number 10 is the Azeroth Autopilot. This one is pretty self-explanatory, and it essentially helps you level through Azeroth by making sure you're following the most optimal quest path and route, therefore eliminating human mistake as well as the objectives that don't bring you as much experience as you deserve. If you've been leveling it traditionally so far without a clear goal or quest path except for the desire to reach max level, this add-on is definitely for you. Now that we got that covered, I'd like to take a moment or two and mention some core add-ons that you may already have as an experienced player, but you may have skipped on them in the past, so it's a good idea to stay tuned and make sure your checklist is complete. Number 11 is the Bartender 4, an add-on that gives you full control of your action bars, including their position, size, and even their transparency. If you're a new player, this should be one of the first mods you consider getting because it will make your gameplay a whole lot easier. As you start keybinding your abilities, your bars are going to fill up fairly quickly, and Bartender lets you set key bindings and position them just the way it suits you. More advanced users will appreciate the ability to program custom macros that have the potential to declutter their action bars. Number 12 is the Deadly Boss mods. This addition makes World of Warcraft's boss fights a little more understandable by providing real-time alerts to keep you one step ahead of the game, and you can easily understand most fights even if you're doing them for the first time. Alerts and camera effects will warn you of dangerous attacks or give you simple instructions whenever you need to move, change targets, run away from the group, or enter the combat. There's also a cool little feature that auto-replies to in-game messages while you're in a boss fight, which lets your friends know you're not really ignoring them, but you're rather busy instead. Number 13 is Bagnon, which replaces the entire inventory window with one large bag that stores all your items. Also, there's a handy search engine in the inventory window that makes finding specific items super easy, and there's also the sort items option which cleans up your bags and groups relevant items together and helps you deal with your bag mess. Number 14 is Details Damage Meter. If doing high DPS in dungeons and raids is something that fills your heart with joy, this is a must-have, even when all you really need to see is who's on top of their game in your group. There are also some super handy options like being able to see the talent choices and the item level of your party members, which makes the group's experience a whole lot better. Number 15 is Weak Auras 2. This add-on is both useful and extremely complex to set up, and it definitely takes some time for you to learn your character's abilities enough to be able to set it up to your liking. However, the benefits are enormous. It lets you display special graphical elements on screen to show buffs, debuffs, and other relevant effects. There's a lot of customization involved, but if you just don't want to deal with it, you can download some of the existing presets created by other players, which is recommended to do if you can acquire someone else's logic and way of thinking. Number 16 is the Move Anything add-on. This particular add-on allows you to move the most unimaginable things and your in-game display, making it possible for you to completely customize your menu, appearance, what gets shown, where it pops up, and how you receive information during combat. Number 17 is the World Quest Tracker. World Quest Tracker shows you the rewards available from World Quests in each zone you're in, so you can quickly see if there are rewards that you need. You can click on the reward icon to automatically track multiple world quests in your quest window, which is a really nice feature that saves a bunch of time while you're out and about. Number 18 is the LBUI. This one is one of the most popular add-ons for World of Warcraft. LBUI replaces every single user interface element with a modern, accessible look that most of the time looks a lot better than the original in-game stuff. There's a lot of customization available and essentially add-ons made for this add-on to work even better, but you do have to configure it manually, although it's totally worth it. Number 19 is the GatherMate 2. This is a fantastic add-on if you have gathering professions and plan to farm stuff for crafting or selling on the auction house. Every time you gather a herb or mine, the location gets recorded and a small indicator will appear on your map and minimap to show you that you've gathered something from that very spot. This is particularly useful if you're going to be gathering in the same zone more than once and allows you to see exactly where the highest concentration of whatever you're gathering is. Number 20 is the NPC scan. Most players end up on the hunt for NPCs at some point, and this add-on is just great at letting you know where those rares spend their days. It's just a great addition to your add-on collection that prevents you from wasting a bunch of time counting rares rather than doing things in close proximity while waiting for the spawn. This list is of course not complete, but it is made of my 20 favorite add-ons in World of Warcraft that I think are going to be of great use in Shadowlands. What's your favorite one, and did I forget to mention something important? Let me know in the comments, and if you find this video helpful, help me out by leaving a like. Also make sure not to miss out on any of my future videos by clicking that subscribe button. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Stay safe and bye bye.